Good thing I chose at this point to hit the live button, because this is what we do. Pillow acquired, so butt will be comfy. All
I was
right.
expecting a little warning. It's mostly the elevation because my chair doesn't
Oh. Can
right.
you maybe you could readjust the camera or something like that? Because I do this with the laptop and the little table it's on. Because otherwise I'll have like kind of the white thing. Because like this is kind of the corner of the thing. You see how it's got that little flare right there. And I'm talking in my background. Wait, is that me or is that you?
What?
It's
Is what?
oh no, that is me. Yes. Okay. No, I had my. Nobody would ever have their own screen open and pop up in their own ear. Yeah, I was a noob. This is what I'm saying. But all right, everybody. I'm joined today by Kai. Say hi, Kai.
How's it going, everybody?
All right, I'll put his little thing in the doobly-doo below. But the discussion for today is we're looking to have impossible conversations. Those conversations where essentially it's one of those things where a lot of folks haven't navigated that territory before. They haven't necessarily thought things out or discussed it with somebody that they disagreed with. And especially with the modern political discourse, which I don't know, can you even call it discourse? Because we're talking about random boogaloos or something like that, or CVs or something.
Is a better word.
Well, Discord is a platform that I often would use. These are things. Oh, the other term. Okay. I apologize.
Yeah, Discord.
Well, the funny thing is, Discord is great for sowing discord. Because if you look at all the crap that happens on there, some folks would say specific types of operations, if you would, it's great for that. At the same time, it logs absolutely everything. And it's like, really? Are people that silly? But we're going to kind of talk about navigating. I realize we kind of got off into some anime and like video games, but these things happen.
We're live. We can touch right back on those and it'd be fresh.
Exactly. And I believe the link is out there for certain folks that may or may not have access to wherever I put it. But these things happen.
I can link it up too, actually.
But essentially, let's go back to kind of what we kind of initially were talking about, because when you had messaged me, you were kind of talking about like consciousness, this, that, and the other thing. And when I was at work, I could just kind of want to go through them. Like, all right, so one of the big things we have is I'm hearing folks saying it's like, well, folks are arguing like maybe they have like some form of a disability or something like that. It's like, okay, the folks still have their own perspectives and everything. It's like people care about a lot of stuff. I had one gentleman before who basically, hey runner, what's going on, brother?
Guys.
Hey runner.
Yeah, I had a. Oh, we're talking about consciousness and stuff, and how to have impossible conversations where people usually feel like they may actually want to do a person or wish bad things upon somebody that they disagree with.
Yeah, I just stopped watching, listening to that Disney call. I just got bored because.
How was it? That was today, right? It's Tuesday.
Yeah. It's still playing right now. I have it on mute so I can talk to you guys.
What was the general gist of that? Just real quick update for folks. My apologies, but essentially it was the Disney shareholder call earlier. Go on.
Yeah. So I don't know. They basically mentioned like Mulan, the remake that everyone is excited for, is coming to Disney Plus.
Well, what else are they going to do with it?
No surprise. I mean, it's better off there.
Well, with the current situation, man, it's like if they're going to release it, that is their platform. If somebody happens to want to watch Mulan, you know what? Even if they just sign up for a month, whatever, man.
Yeah.
They're getting money, and it's money that they probably desperately need, I would assume.
Yeah, and I don't know. It got kind of boring later because everyone's just asking like non-important questions. Nothing like, too what's the word? There's nothing really new. Like they basically mentioned like, oh yeah, Mandalorian 2 is supposed to come out around October. They talked a little bit about their Marvel projects and stuff.
Okay. And I mean that just sounds like standard corporate. Here's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll pivot back around to having absolutely impossible conversations. So,
But I think I know Culture Casino's listening to it, so you can probably.
well, I know he's a shareholder like yourself.
Yeah, we're Culture and Lorena were talking about it, essentially
I was too.
discussing their disappointment.
I mean, at this point, I don't give a shit. Like, that's just where I'm at right now. But yeah,
Well, I mean,
Are
it's.
you
I think
sure?
it's.
Are you
I heard.
sure?
Just to close this out, just we do need to get back on topic.
Oh, yeah.
Is basically just kind of like this is the first time Disney is not paying their shareholders a dividend, because that was the big thing. They have like quarterly payouts for their dividend. That's why Disney is worth what it is, because basically it's a cash factory. If they're not paying out that dividend, that's going to affect the value of the stock. And if you happen to own a lot of shares of stock, people would probably be concerned about that. So we'll end up having, sure, probably Culture and Lorena kind of give their thoughts on that. And back to, rather than entertaining Disney stuff and things that are going on, how do we have impossible conversations, folks? How do we have that conversation that basically we just, I don't know, it seems like you just can't do it. It's just you always have into an impasse and you always just leave on feeling like you have bad blood. Kai, you go first and we'll go right down to Runner.
Oh, so in terms of wait, so are we? Are we
How would you attempt to go about having what you would consider a very difficult conversation with somebody you likely disagree with on something?
Okay, over disagreements.
Right.
I was thinking like, because when you said a difficult conversation that you walk away with bad blood, I was like, that sounds like a very like a certain kind of.
See, you're calling out my my bias. Yes, I listed impossible conversations. Yes, that was for effect. My apologies.
Okay.
We'll take baby steps. We'll work our way up there.
I disagree with. Generally, I figure that if someone else and I disagree on something, it's because we're coming at it from different perspectives. So I generally start off by trying to get their perspective. I try to understand where they're coming from so I can relate to that, and then figure out how they're relating to the topic and see how I can connect them to my point of view. You're muted.
You're muted.
You don't need to mute yourself. You just
Yes. No, I was doing other stuff and things. Yes, I am bad at broadcasting, everybody. But no, that was actually something that touched upon in the Dark Horse podcast, which is hosted by Professor Weinstein and Professor Haig. They happen to be spouses. They taught at Evergreen. They had a particular situation where they were kind of being sought after, and some folks were going after them on their own college campus. Now they have a podcast. But basically what they were saying is a lot of folks, when a situation arises, you're looking for information to confirm your own bias. Basically, it's like, all right, this is the way I see things. This is what a lot of folks that I know and trust are saying. So I'm looking for things to basically prove that point. And there's enough information out there, right? Yeah, well, there's enough information out there with the internet where you can easily find it, or somebody else that is renowned or something like that will show you something. They'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's what happened. Whereas what you were saying is, let me look at the other side. If you're actually having a debate, we call that steel manning. You try to build the most powerful case for your opponent that you can. Basically, you're trying to prove them right. Because the thing is, there might be other information out there that you're not looking at that would prove the other point, showing that it's like, okay, maybe it's not as cut and dry as we thought. Might there be more evidence leading to one side or another? Yeah, there probably is, but every situation is different, like you were pointing out. So we'll stop that for right now, and then we'll just go down to Runner. And just initially, Runner, how do you kind of go about trying to have a conversation with somebody you may very well disagree with strongly on things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with Kai on this one. Like, yeah, just hear what they gotta say, and then I don't know. I'll try to give out my scoop, and then yeah, we'll just go on from there. And yeah, that's how I do it. And if you still disagree with that person or whatever, then oh well, it's just gonna remain that way.
Okay. Well, see, this was non-specific. This was non-specific. All right, let's start to make this more specific as we'll work our way up. I like that Kai called me out on this because we're gonna attempt to level up here. So as you noticed, I said, Kai, what happens if you're having a conversation with someone you disagree with? I went down to Runner, and it's like, all right, who do you maybe potentially vehemently disagree with? Let's talk about disagreements within communities. Okay, since I think a number of folks here might be aware of a little group called the Fandom Menace, what about disagreements within the greater Fandom Menace community? Because there seem to be a couple right now. I know we've had a certain friend that may or may not write books that's had a disagreement with folks. Apparently within the greater Snyder Cut realm, some folks were really passionate about that. Some folks are like, I don't care. And some folks are actually going after those folks now. So what's the deal there? How would you go about having a conversation with somebody that might have a disagreement there within a community that you like a lot of people in?
I mean,
Go ahead, Runner.
no, I was gonna say you go, man.
I
You
was
take this
gonna
one.
do that Michael Scott thing where I kind of just start talking and see where I end up. But if you have cohesive thoughts right now, you can go for it.
It's a very honest man.
No, okay, so the Fandom Menace and all that, the disagreements and all that. It's not like other corporations like Collider and all those weirdos that say like, oh, if you disagree with that one thing, you're gone, you're out of that, like you're fired. But in this community, you can just have whatever opinion you want. Like you mentioned the Snyder Cut stuff. Like I'm a DC Snyder fan as well. I love Man of Steel and the Ultimate Edition for BVS. I think they're great. And I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea. Jeremy and Ryan Kennel from Geeks and Gamers, if you've seen like their Mario Kart streams or whatever game they play on their Twitch or YouTube, whatever, I mean they'll have like a really long conversation, like disagreements all the time. I mean, like Dave Filoni, that's another big one. Jeremy likes Dave Filoni. Ryan hates Dave Filoni. Along with Lethal Lightning, he also hates Dave Filoni.
Okay, well, why does that matter?
You were just saying.
No. Well, exactly what you said. It's like basically they happen to disagree with each other on those things, and that's why I'm like, well, why does that matter? Or let me rephrase that, because I realized the way those words came out of my mouth were actually very disrespectful. My apologies. let me rephrase that. Why should that matter? That was probably also disrespectful. Let me rephrase that one more time. No. But you see right there, they didn't let it bother them. Okay, Kai, save me.
Topic.
I'm muting myself.
I don't think you're being rude at all. You're good, man. You're good.
No, that was funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It's you feeling awkward about it is actually, that was great.
Yeah, I
Go
know.
ahead,
I was like, am I not answering the question? I'm pretty sure I was answering the question.
It's because you kind of you answered, but you were like, you kind of drifted off this way, and he's like, could you build a bridge between here and here?
No,
And
I accidentally took that U-turn I wasn't supposed to take. All right.
Well, because you're talking about how they disagree about person about Dave Filoni,
Well,
and even though they disagree, I think the point you're trying to draw
It's just yeah.
not give a shit, and that's it. It's over. Like they just move on. Like
My whole point really is that there are many topics that a lot of us can disagree on, and then we just move on and we're still friends. That's what I'm really trying to say. I wasn't gonna go to every damn thing in the list. Those are just some examples.
I got you. Memes?
All right then. Well, some may say that's a case study right there. But well, this is why specification, because here's the thing, dude. My mind could have been any place there. I don't know. I kind of like to phrase my mind as like an electron. It's like, is it a particle? Is it a wave? Is it kind of both at the same time? It's all over here. But that's the thing. It's like it really depends on where someone's coming from, where you feel they're coming from, as well as that communication there. It's like just in my mind, I'm just imagining a bunch of folks like if we were just playing Mario Kart right now, it's like we're just playing and everything. It's like we have a disagreement about any of those topics. I'm like, well, what the heck do any of those disagreements matter? We're busy doing something we enjoy. Whereas other folks, what if what they enjoy is discussing those topics? Like, where in the hierarchy of importance are those topics? Because you seem to have a lot of folks riling a whole lot of folks up saying, well, this is so important here, this is so important there. I mean, is it? I mean, do you need to call a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of mean names because you disagree with them about something about a fictional show?
I think in some cases it might come down to a point of pride. Like if some people have said things very vehemently about a topic and they have, defended this idea or this point of view for however long, and now they're wrong. Like that, I think it hurts some people without them even realizing it. I don't think they realize that they're actually hurt by that specific thing. And so they end up attacking people who were right because they're hurt. And this person being right is a representation. This person embodies their wrongness, And so instead of coming to terms with it and going and just accepting that you were wrong about something and moving on, the pride that you have invested in being right about this thing keeps you from doing that.
So it's sapien pride.
Sapien? Like monkey?
Oh, like Homo sapien.
Oh, okay.
I was making a pun on Saiyan pride, like Vegeta would always say.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I don't know. Okay, my apologies. It was again, mind, different places. Woo! But to bring it back around, it's the consciousness of where it might actually be coming from there. And the sheer fact it's like, all right, if you can't admit you're wrong, so you're going to attack somebody? I mean, is that the illogical reaction there, or is that the reaction of somebody that's overreacting? Runner, take us away.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I was looking on the fourth wave chat because I was wondering what everyone else was talking about.
Oh, well, it's all right. I experience deficit disorders as well.
Sorry, I'm a teenager. I get distracted by.
Oh, are you old enough to be here?
I think I'm fine. I mean, I'm old.
Do you have your parents?
Runner.
Do you have your parents' permission?
When you turn 18, you can be on
care.
my show because my show is 18 and older. So.
All right. My birthday is around April.
Oh, mine too.
I turn 18 next year, April. So you can.
Jesus.
I'm over twice your age. Oh God, I could be your father.
That's what Shellback said to me.
Wow! No. The moment in life. That moment in life.
Bro,
where it literally just hits you and you're like, I am twice your age.
Yeah, man. My nephew is. I think my nephew's your age, man. Or a year younger, maybe. He's going into his senior year.
I'm going into my senior year too.
Yeah, so y'all bitches are the same age.
Yeah.
You're the same age as my nephew, asshole.
No. No, that was a put down. 2 put-ups now.
I don't know. Runners.
My health teacher used to do that. I didn't like to do it.
Do what?
Oh, basically if you put someone down, you need to give them 2 put-ups. It was a great thing, but I didn't like being forced.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't mean nothing by calling him an asshole.
Oh, I know. I realize you were doing it in a loving way, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, Runner. Hearts and kisses, baby.
It's okay.
Thanks.
Because unbeknownst to you, maybe it should have gone.
You know what's weird? Speaking of me just being the young one, kind of. I'm really not. I'm like the second youngest, actually. I think.
Who's the youngest?
Giovanna. The one who had that celebration stream? Yeah, she's a year younger than me.
No shit.
Yeah, you see, I can't believe some people are surprised by that. Like yesterday, in the fourth wave chat, I was saying like it's like no, there's 2 children in this chat, including me, and he's like who's the other? And yeah, Tommy and I, we were like, it's Giovanna. It's like,
I believe they're called. You're called a teenager.
whatever, teenager.
It's okay. It's an overlapping trait. It's one of those things. It's kind of like a mohawk. There, mohawks come in different lengths, but there is a specific definition apparently. I believe they used to have a faux hawk, and then I had the goatee, and I'm like, ooh, if I had more melanin, I kind of look like a hog rider.
I actually dressed up as a hog rider for Halloween one year.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, did you use makeup?
No. I just went as
Okay,
myself.
no, all right, no, okay. I was gonna say we don't need another Justin Trudeau moment. There you go.
I'm right in the middle, so I can do the dark and the light costumes, and I have the look. That's what matters, This is more important than the face paint. But I did get for my hog, and since I don't have like a giant pig to ride around, I did the horse on a stick thing. So I got a stick, and then like I bought a little plushy pig, and I tied it to the end of the stick, and then I was riding it around. I used my nephew's Mjolnir hammer.
You rode around on a pig on a stick with Mjolnir.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what that symbolizes.
It's all kinds of cultural appropriation.
Well, I was going to say maybe pigs will fly with the power of the god of thunder.
Well, that would make a pig fly.
All right, so getting back to having impossible conversations, although this is fun, I would say that's probably an easier conversation to have about riding a pig on a stick with Mjolnir, because that's very silly and all over the place. And all right, let's level it up. Let's say you're talking about who you're going to support for president.
Oh, jeez.
In the current context. Oh, we're coming hard. Don't worry, I could have hit you harder. Maybe not. All right. So since Kai just kind of goes with the flow and he's in the middle of typing, so I'm going to pick on him anyway.
Go for it.
All right. So Kai, how would you go about having a conversation with somebody? I have no idea your beliefs. Let's say I'm a big Trump guy. Let's say I am literally worshiping the ground the God Emperor works on. How are you going to have a conversation with me? Especially assuming you disagree. You can go either or.
Honestly, within the breadth of my family, there are people who voted for Hillary, and there are people who voted for Trump, and they're both coming from a good place, and I think they're both wrong. So that's where I'm at. So if I'm going to reach out with someone I completely disagree with, though, if I was actually on the opposing side, which I guess technically I am because I do disagree. Pardon me.
No worries. Acid reflux can be a...
Oh, no, I was drinking water right now, and I just had a burp.
Oh, these things happen. Hashtag human.
So, like earlier, how I said about trying to understand where they're coming from, I think that really is what's missing from a lot of people's political discourse, is they make assumptions about where someone's coming from instead of actually trying to get to know what it is. So if someone's worshiping the ground that Trump walks on, that would perplex me. Honestly, it would perplex me. And I would say, why? Can you explain, like, what about this works for you? And I actually had a conversation with, it's this Russian guy that is always wearing like Go America. He's wearing like red, white, and blue USA hat, like Make America Great Again. He's like, and I'm like, dude, so this guy's a spy, right? This guy's totally a spy. He's like, oh yes, I love America.
Now, let me
Honestly.
Let me ask you a question, and I don't want to infringe upon my Russian comrades' potential thing for America. Is he wearing that truly because he loves America, or he's trying to piss some people off?
No. He genuinely loves it, because I had a conversation with him one time, asking him about all that stuff about Trump and everything. He's like, oh, no. Trump is making good choices. He's making good decisions. He pointed out a few things that I'd kind of forgotten about. He says, "Do you remember the thing with Korea? Like that worked out. Like he worked that out peacefully. That he de-escalated that. He de-escalated like oh shit. There was some other situations. He made me realize that he's actually done a decent job in some respects. Like there are areas where he has done well, and that's what they're looking at. They're not looking at the areas where he's doing poorly. Whereas the people who disagree are generally doing the opposite. They're only looking at where he's doing poorly, and they're ignoring where his successes. And so generally, if you want someone to hear you, you need to listen to them. So I generally start off talking to people I disagree with by hearing them first and letting them say their piece, and letting them explain everything to me, and then elaborating upon those explanations. And so if they get to a point where they're wrong, I guess, or maybe stretching something a little far, that's when I can step in with a question, not with a, well, this is wrong. Step in with a question. Oh, well, you're saying this, but what about that? Or how does this work if this is a thing here? And then you get them to actually think about it and engage with your point of view, as opposed to just telling them they're wrong or accusing them of something, and then at that point they're not going to want to listen anymore. They're not going to be open to your point of view.
I knew I liked you. I mean, you're completely confirming my biases with that, but no, dude, it makes a lot of sense there. I mean, if your potential mode, if it was in Lord of the Rings, would be to, if you're the Eye of Sauron, you got to find the hobbits too, because a lot of folks are missing out on the hobbits.
Yes.
I realize it's a weird analogy because you're talking about like the progenitor of evil actually finding the hobbits, which then essentially ends the game on the side that you want to lose. But in this context, you want to find the hobbits.
Yeah, you gotta look for the hobbits. You can't assume you know where the hobbits are. You gotta look for them.
Right. And the hobbits might be up to their own noble quest. So, all right, Runner, how would you go about having a disagreement with somebody about the presidential election?
Okay, so first of all, just to real quick talk about the music you're playing, or what the hell? I hear some type of music. Is that fucking?
It's in your head, bro.
No, holy shit, no. I actually thought, I'm not even fucking shitting with you. Memes. I thought you were playing some music.
I think my roommate was taking a shower.
No. But then I was like, oh wait, it's one of my tabs.
I did that at the beginning of the show. I heard myself talking. I'm like, oh, there's an echo.
No, apparently.
The stream's getting ready to start.
It was weird. I guess they just ended the call.
Oh, the Disney call.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that.
No.
All right,
I should leave. This is very interesting content from some other places. But
yeah.
All right, how would you go about talking about the presidential election with somebody you disagree with?
Are you talking to me or Runner?
Oh, Runner.
Talking to me. See that one for me is kind of hard because I don't really get into that stuff very much. Like,
well, that's why it's difficult, because I feel like a lot of folks are being drawn in. Because what y'all might not know is this is also being simulcast to my Facebook. Because we want to be diverse and inclusive. And well, this is the thing. Basically, when it gets to the point where it's like, all right, when Facebook starts looking like Twitter, and you're like, all right, well, what is Twitter made for? It's like, well, it was meant to communicate information very quickly, and it seems like a lot of folks are just kind of using it as a way to just hate on folks that they don't like and WTF pwn people. Okay, so when you have the platform that's supposed to be for your friends and family, and there doesn't really seem to be much of a difference anymore, and you see folks like drastically like sharing all these stories and everything, and like not like defriending folks, and then basically it's like, all right, we're gonna banish you to the shadow realm. It's like, I'm never gonna see you again. It's like people are literally disowning each other and stuff. And again, this happens. I think we end up seeing the worst case scenarios very often, because I think most folks are generally, it's like, I just want to live a good life and being left alone. But at this point, all right, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Folks have been cooped up for a while. You got a whole bunch of different protests going on. You got folks pushing for civil rights. You got folks pushing for a whole lot of different things, depending on what persuasion you're from. And we seem to be kind of lumping them all up together. So it's like, all right, if you're on the quote unquote this side, you obviously believe all these things, including the worst possible things that are imaginable. And then the same thing over here. It's like, well, if you're on this side, okay, yeah, maybe you kind of believe this, but that's completely outweighed by the actions that obviously all of you have taken, because obviously all of you are evil and the same folks that have committed acts of violence. So when we make generalizations like that, it's like, oh, well, I'm sitting back and I'm like, I've had literally folks lob that at me. It's like, oh, memes, oh, you're progressive. I'm like a liberal that believes in progress. And well, your folks, your actions. I'm like, well, when you're screaming at me and everything, you know what? It kind of just sounds like you're reminding me of my high school high school football coach that literally had a vein on his nose, and he would start to scream, and you would see it throb, and you're just waiting for the day for it literally explodes. Wow. And I'm like, with all due respect, sir, I'm worried about your blood pressure. I think you need to maybe, I don't know, chill out. Maybe switch to decaf. I don't know, man. Relax. Well, that's the thing, and just kind of getting back to what we were talking about before. It's like, all right, if somebody's coming at you and they're literally, let's say, if they're kind of acting like a child, they're literally just going like, meh, or this and that. It's like, well, how would you treat a child? Would you just scream at their face? Would you just start tweeting them all this pornography and stuff like that? Or would you be like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I realize you're overly triggered right now. Just calm down, take some deep breaths, and they keep on going on. It's okay. It's okay. Things will be all right. Just breathe. It's like, it's okay. It's okay. I realize you believe it's okay. America is great again. America's great. America's great. Just sit down. Just sit down, calm yourself. Buying a pizza. It's okay. It's okay. Did you try logging off the internet? Try it for a day. Try it for a day. Your mental health will improve. You want a cookie? Here, yeah, I like cookies. Okay, off of you now. Well, that's the thing. It's like, why don't we have conversations like that? It's like, what? The best example I have is literally using a game, because literally our leaders are literally playing Dungeons and Dragons, more or less, role-playing out to see what a potential civil war would look like. It's like, okay, if we're at that point now, if we can represent models and stuff like that for potential actual real-world scenarios, let's do this. Back when I played D&D, we had a very annoying character. One of my good friends played him, and it was a halfling. And it wasn't just a halfling, it was a kender. And a kender is basically the most spastic style. It's like, oh, this, ooh, shiny, this or that. It just like literally will ruin everything. And you want to know what took care of that little halfling and just got it out of trouble was like the great uncle-y dwarf with a big white beard that just came in that happened to be a cleric and everything. So the spastic was like, no, little one, just come with me. And it's just like being treated like a child. It's like, because he wasn't feeding into it. It's like so many folks would just react and just be, stop being so annoying, and they would scream, and they were basically treating it, like somebody they were tweeting at on Twitter. Whereas if you came in, you actually treat it like a person you like. It's like, now, things will be okay. It's like, all right, the situation, they might not still agree with you, but at least they don't seem like they're getting ready to go out and cause people harm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's important. Is treating everybody like they're your friend. Essentially everyone in the world is a friend I haven't made yet. So if you treat people like they're your friend and not like they're your enemy, you're more likely to actually connect with them and both hear them out and have them hear you out. But I want to take a quick pause here to tell Time Prophet he can eat a dick. Look, I got my shirt working. Look, it's all. I'm flipped. The camera's facing the right way. You can read my shirt now. But the more important part is the panda. Yeah.
I like pandas.
Time Prophet.
well, that was the thing. I listened. I'm like, wait a second. Something is different. The camera has gone from Like
noticed,
normally facing to rear
I
facing.
noticed that as soon as he just flipped it around, I was like, whoa, it's weird.
Well, we have TTP to point it out, so it's all right. It's all right. These things happen. I never played Mr. Pandaren. I stopped at Lich King. Yes, server first level 80 DK for the win. God, that was a lot of Diet Pepsi and a lot of missleep. Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, back to the topic. Sorry about
Right, right. All right. So having those impossible conversations. Okay, so you and I kind of think we're a bit cut from the same cloth in the way that that's generally how I try to go about things as well. A lot of times, rather than assuming I'm right, I'm like, all right, let's assume I'm wrong. And if I was wrong, what would be in place? And if it's in place, okay, well maybe I'm wrong. Whereas it's like, all right, well, is that in place? No. Okay. Well, is this in? No. And it's like you said, rather than accusing somebody of all the worst things, to try to literally just, I don't know, shock and awe them. I don't know. Is that actually? Are you actually working something out, or are you just screaming at somebody to scream at them because it makes you feel good? It makes you feel like you have power over to somebody hundreds or thousands of miles away on the internet that you may or may not do in real life. That's all I'm saying there, because I think Microsoft actually said it best. It's like, well, people aren't acting how they would in real life with this. I'm like, oh, well, there are solutions to this. I'm not saying we should do them because it'd probably be a violation of the Constitution, but let's face it, we have the technology to do many things right now.
Well, honestly, there is very little digital legislation. Just before September of 2001, was it? Just before that, there was actually legislation going through to regulate terms of service agreements and stuff like that. All this stuff that now is like annoying and a problem. They were going to standardize a lot of things on the internet, and then and do a lot of security stuff and etc. But then when that happened, all of a sudden, all of that stuff disappeared, and it just wasn't important anymore. And so the people that are in office, generally speaking, have they don't understand technology, have no perception over how important some of these things are, and don't know what needs to be passed. But I do think that we need more stuff like that. Regulating what your behavior online, regulating age online, maybe enforcing, maybe making any company that makes an operating system, requiring them to have age-restricted profiles, so that then the browser and the operating system can just communicate with each other. There's no need for you must be over the age of 18. Yeah, okay, click, and then you're in. Like, no, software, it's not going to work.
Okay, number one, Kai, the Patriot Act is the law of the land. Moving along, and terms of service are a thing. That's all I'm saying. But if we look at what's going on, man, it's like, okay, I get that, and we all know nobody would ever lie about their age on the internet. But well, this is the thing. Well, I mean, how else was I going to see like all those like pictures that give me viruses and stuff? I mean, I'm just saying, I'm on a laptop that I destroyed twice from far too much porn.
No,
and it's a Mac too. I destroyed its logic drive. I think I had a problem.
Yo, when I was, do you mind a quick little tangent for a
Go for it.
About porn? So I think I was 15, and full screen me. All right, cool.
Gotcha.
I was 15, and it was me and my girlfriend, and my buddy and his girlfriend, and our other buddy, and me and my buddy's younger brothers. So it was like a crowd of teenagers, and there was a couple. There was a single girl there or two there also. A bunch of teenagers hanging out in 2002 ish, 2001, 2002, around there. And so internet speeds it's at that point where like cable's coming in, but either it's really fast or everyone in your area now has cable internet, and so it's really slow because it's the only cable line. So
It was turbo boost.
we're talking what?
Oh no,
Right.
it had like turbo boost or something. It's basically if nobody else was on, you get extra bandwidth. Everyone's on, it's like.
Exactly, yeah. And so I don't remember if this was before we got cable or after everyone got it, but the internet was slow. And we're sitting around in the living room talking about, this is before search engines too. So we're talking about the porn sites that we've heard about, because you had to remember the URL. You had to remember the address. I heard about this site called this.com where they
You
have
still
like,
needed to have your little black book.
yeah, you had to have it in your head. And so we're teenagers, we're all sharing our stories. And then this one, my buddy's little brother, he says, I heard of this website called this.com. That's about poop fetish porn. And we said, no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. And we all kind of looked around at each other, and after denying it for a little bit, and then the room was silent, and then like someone shot off a gun. We all immediately rushed, like it was just suddenly, we all rushed to the computer. And I sat down because I'm the older brother. It's my freaking apartment. So I'm on the computer. So I get on there and we go to the website, and it's all a bunch of images. So the big image in the middle loads last, but until that image, we get like the menu loads up here, and then this loads up here, and then down here. And so we're seeing a picture come together, and it's this, we see this raven black hair spread across this crimson like bed sheet, and it's just looking, we're seeing this leg sticking up in the air, this like, oh, that's a good looking girl. You can tell by that leg, that's a good looking leg. And so everything's coming together, and then the image in the middle appears, and she's dumping a log in her own mouth, and we all freak out. Everyone goes, ah! And I'm blocking the screen and trying to click it off, and I clicked it off, and then everybody breathes a sigh of relief, and then we all go back to the living room, and like we're just chilling after that. We're talking about this horrible experience. And when my dad comes home, he's like, well, you're all really calm. But no one was cuddling after that. No one was holding hands. No one was making out. No one was flirting. It was all over. And henceforth, when people would bring up stuff like, ew, did you know that there's some people that are like into feet? Ew. I was like, not a big deal. Could be a lot worse. And then people think I'm, but hey, whatever. I know better. Traumatizing experiences for the win. Right?
Well, you're sharing your story about you learning about Rule 34 of the internet. Yes, I say that as windy outside. To be fair, I like feet. There ain't nothing wrong with feet. I mean, it's not like people have spent billions of dollars in certain footwear industries or anything like that. I mean, just follow the money. Just follow the money. The sheer fact that somebody's little brother was able to go up to you and be like, I remember this name because it's got a feces fetish there. It's like, oh, really? There are a lot of folks that actually enjoy that. You want to know what, though? People are shamed because of it. And because of that shame, there was actually 2 younger brothers. They found Dad's videotapes of him basically liking to eat some poo and walk around in a diaper. So because of some simulated age play and a diaper fetish and stuff. Yeah, as soon as the son brought that up, you want to know what the dad's response was? He pulled out a shotgun and blew his son's head off. That does not seem like an appropriate response, but somehow in this society, no, I shit you not. Like, this is the thing. I could be wrong. I was. Oh God, pun not intended. Wow. The one thing I'm consistent at, I ruin everything. We're talking about a father murdering his child over discovering his freaking crap tapes and freaking. I'm going to hell. Going
That's
straight
horrible.
to hell.
Memes.
No. But what I'm saying is the response. Runner. Sorry, I've been bloviating.
Follow the wind.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
the wind or the smell?
No, the wind.
Oh.
Like, I'm referencing Ghost of Tsushima. If you didn't know.
Oh, I didn't.
I haven't played it.
I've watched Angelus play it a little bit. It's kind
Yeah.
of fun.
I'm playing it on my channel. If you guys want to watch that.
Oh, are you playing it right now?
Well, I played it late last night, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to play it today. But
Oh no, I was gonna say if we were taking up your time of playing Ghost of Tsushima.
No. This is break for me.
Hail,
But,
hail, Joe! I see you there. Shout out to my patron Joe Franco as well as Shellback and Kai. Yes, as well as LS. No, we were having a discussion, yes, that has often been derailed, but there was a point at the early beginning, and I'll probably clip out some of the more better parts there. Yes, more better is a thing. Basically, parts about us actually discussing how to have impossible conversations, because some folks, like myself, that happen to be gluttons for punishment, that like talking politics and everything, we happen to love doing stuff like that. I'm also in my car because I was getting antsy and I'm addicted to nicotine, so I was going to light a cigarette. Then I realized I think my butts are still inside. I was letting.
I had that question. I was like, when the hell did you get?
No, I was letting Kai do his little solo thing when he learned about Rule 34 of the internet, but. Yeah, see, no, I'm learning this thing. I'm getting a little better. I'm slowly increasing my skills. We're slowly leveling up. But, all right, we're now a little bit past 6 o'clock the East Coast. I think we'll start to wind it down here. Gentlemen, why don't you give your final thoughts?
4 hours like all the big guys do?
Oh, well, I need to literally go on a run, do a workout, eat dinner and stuff like that, feed the cat and, like, other things.
Charge your phone. And then do those things with the be on your run like, yeah, I think that consciousness is...
I did that to Mongo the other day, dude. No, folks were on Steven's channel. He was having a stream. And then I thought he said he was gonna, like, somebody was gonna post it. I thought Christy was gonna post it or something. And then all of a sudden I saw a Streamlinks thing while I was on there. So I'm literally out there like shirtless, freaking just like running. I'm like at like a part of my run where I start to walk. I see a StreamYards link like shortly after he said that. I'm like, oh, I just got a clip on. And I pop in and I can barely hear because there's some traffic going by and I'm muted and stuff. And then I'm like, wait, this isn't Steven's stream, is it? They're like, no, dude, this is another stream. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I came in here to poke fun at author Stephen Walton and ask him whether he preferred his coffee hot or cold.
That's amazing. Wait, whose stream was it?
Conversation there.
I think it was Mongo's.
Right there.
Oh no.
Difficult conversation.
Oh well, we need to clean out the previous one.
Was this during the fourth wave chat? Before I was added.
I admit potentially.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
This is the thing, dude. You have different communities. We all happen to have access to a particular private chat there. That makes sense to us and the other folks that have access to it. There are other folks on whatever platform it is that don't have access to it. And that's the big thing. And that's what kind of Kai was bringing up there. It's like, all right, what's the information we're lacking? And this is something I learned from Sam Harris. It was basically, it's like, okay, well, do we truly hate each other? Do we truly have a disagreement? Or is it a simple lack of information? Because if there's something very important that you don't know about, well, why wouldn't you, if you got the new information, just simply incorporate that? Is it really that prideful? Do you really need to... Are your feelings going to get hurt that much that you are wrong about something because you didn't know something? I mean, that just... I don't know. That kind of sounds like crazy talk to me. And I'm batshit insane.
That's true.
Somebody else talk.
Somebody else talk. I think we're all a little crazy. Like, yeah. if you're gonna volunteer yourself to like be out in public, like you're opening yourself up to criticism and ridicule, and you gotta be a little crazy to be okay with that, right, Runner?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, welcome back to the camera, bro.
Yeah, I'm back.
I missed you. Yeah.
Hey, nobody would ever go off camera to avoid scrutiny.
Not at all. I generally go off camera when I'm smoking a bowl, because I don't know how YouTube feels about that, and I don't want to mess with anyone's channels.
Well, it's you're talking entheogens there, and this is the thing that bothers me. All right, we're gonna do a real quick rant on frickin' cannabis and stuff like that. All I know is my new job. It's like this is actually
you can do it off cam, Kai.
no. Well, that's
I can just slide over here.
that's what he's saying, right? Wait a second. Oh, okay.
I mean,
But-
I know. Geez. What?
I win.
Yes, I say that, but I can do this completely fine. Why? Tobacco is legal, and Herman Cain, God rest his soul, his campaign manager ad, his campaign manager, Mark Block, at the end, it's like, Herman Cain has run a campaign like nobody's ever run a campaign. He's like, we're going to take America back. And they end with like kind of like some kind of uplifting. It's like, I am America. And just for some reason, his campaign manager is sitting there, smoking is bad, with a cigarette, just taking a drag. And then it just cuts to a shot of Herman Cain just there like, and he just slowly smiles. So, and you look at it, you're like, dude, man, you're terrifying me. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, to be fair, it really necessarily wasn't even the worst ad, but just the way it was put together. You're like, he's taking a drag of a cigarette, and like, they released it online. People were like, oh my god. Dude, I watched that with some of my hippie friends and stuff back in 2012. We were playing D&D. Dude, we just couldn't stop laughing. It was freaking hilarious.
Oh my god! Yeah, rest in peace, Herman Cain. You hear about that?
Yeah, dude, he ended up passing away. I think he ended up having
The beer bug.
yeah, no, dude, he had that about a month or so ago. I think some folks said maybe he had cancer as well.
Oh, well, I wonder which one did him in.
Well,
Your body's trying to fight cancer. It can't fight two things at once like that. Like, this is too much. I'm out.
I was just gonna say, is it mostly the cancer or is it the COVID?
I'm not a doctor. I'm not his doctor either. So I mean, it's
No,
between
yeah.
him and his family and his physicians.
It's yeah.
Well, and see, that's the other thing because you could even take a situation,
you know?
Cause
right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like you take. I'm going to pull a President Obama at this point. I'm going to try to use this as a teachable moment. I realize my apologies to Mr. Cain's family for any potential disrespect, but here's the thing. I watched him. Dude, I watched him on Stephen Colbert after and stuff like that. And dude, he was a pleasant guy. I realized there were all these accusations of sexual misconduct. I remember a whole bunch of women coming up and saying things, and to be fair, I mean, he's a good-looking guy, and that man has a set of pipes on him, dude. He can sing "Imagine There's No Pizza," and dude, he nailed that song, man. He nailed it. To be fair, I have no idea what the hell happened. All I know is after he kind of dropped out, I didn't hear anything else about it. But that's the thing, man. You just take those situations. What would you hear? The man, he ended up losing his life. He had COVID like a month before. A lot of folks are like, oh, see, oh, big deal. Oh, look, all your Republicans and everything like that. Oh, yeah, oh, no, see how bad this plague is? Somebody on your side and losing their life. It's like, and I'm seeing a comment, it's like, oh, did anyone think maybe the pancreatic cancer had anything to do with it? It's like, I have no idea if that's true or not, but to be fair, I mean, if he was suffering, it's like, okay, well, how about this? He has a potentially fatal cancer. He also has something that is going to make him weaker, sicker, that his body needs to fight if it's already under stress. And let's say, I don't know, he's at higher risk. Yeah.
Yeah,
that can.
Like, he's undergoing treatment for the
Right.
cancer, then that means his immune system is shot to hell right now. So if he gets anything, it's gonna mess him up, you know.
Well, right, go on.
So no, it's just that his immune system's compromised, like at the moment if he's got cancer. So that's unfortunate. It's bad timing, and it sucks for his family and friends, you know.
May he rest in peace. But this is one of those things, and actually, just talking about what you were just bringing up right there. Right before I logged on, again, I saw something shared. I didn't click on it. I just saw some folks' initial reactions and stuff. I have no idea what's true, but just whether or not it's true, you think about it, it's like apparently somebody was either, I think, like a Walmart, Target, or maybe just a department store, and literally somebody coughed on somebody that happened to be a cancer patient, and apparently I think they're going to jail. And you think about it, you're like, oh, you're just, oh, it's like, really? Well, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we have no idea whether you're contagious or not, but that sounds like, especially if you're doing it on purpose, that sounds kind of like a threat to somebody, especially if they're undergoing any type of chemo or chemicals where they might be at risk. Because so what happens? Okay, you are attempting to kill that person, because that's essentially what you're saying. It's like, all right, you're at that compromised group. I have no idea if I have it or not, but if you get it, this is the thing. It's like we're turning this into politics and stuff right here. Literally, the sheer fact that we're discussing these things, and it's like, is this where really we're at? Where you don't even have the decency to try to, like, if you cough or sneeze, try to cover it up, especially during a freaking pandemic, a plague. We had this crap before, man. This literally happened 100 years ago. Dude, if folks went around, and I'm sure there were some folks that were probably doing that, but now it's to the point where it's like, all right, well, your standard respect and everything. Well, if somebody thinks different than me, I want bad things to happen to them. And it's like,
that's
well,
a horrible.
Nobody would obviously ever lie about those feelings, because, I mean, that would be wrong and untruthful.
No, yeah, that would be a horrible. I mean, that is a horrible state of mind to be in, is to wish harm upon people who just disagree with you about things, like things that it's not like you've had a lifelong dedication to this idea. So you've had a dedication to this idea for 3 months now. Like, stop being a dick. But fun fact about pandemics, I figure something good is always going to come out of anything that happens, be it good or bad. But during the Black Plague, before the Black Plague, the way people consumed ice cream was you had the ice cream guy, and you'd walk up and say, hey, let me get a penny lick. And a penny lick was, you give them a penny, they scoop up the ice cream in this metal, like, cup-ish thing, scoopy cup-ish thing. They give it to you, and you'd eat the ice cream. You just lick it right off the thing, and you give it back, and they dip it in water, and then the next person would come up, let me get a penny lick, and then and so once the Black Plague hit, someone said, let me get a penny lick, and then they licked all the thing and gave it back to the guy, and the next person said, I'm good, thanks. Actually, I don't feel like ice cream anymore. So what happened?
Well, this is the thing. We start to learn things about, I don't know, communicable disease transmission, and I'm seeing all these things, and I'm like, hold on, wait a second. all these different things are going on. I'm like, all right, didn't we learn these things? It's like, all right, well, if you cough or sneeze, you cover up. You do this. We had these things called handkerchiefs and stuff like that. Oh, I don't know. It's not like we had plague doctors that have these big, crazy, freaking massive. Like, this seemed to be a thing before. Like, we knew that these things were useful to different extents. The sheer fact that our government doesn't trust us and more or less lies to us, that complicates it. Now, folks have lost trust. So, Runner, your final thoughts on having difficult conversations, or what we were just talking about there, and then we'll do our outros.
About the COVID stuff?
About whatever you want, either having difficult conversations or...
I want to mention one thing. I agree with Shellback on this one thing. He says, we've had worse things than coronavirus over the last several years. I agree. And here's the thing about that. Like, I was junior in high school, and that's when the pandemic started, and we had to do e-learning and all that, and it's terrible. It's terrible. Your most important year of high school, and you have to do work from home, and I didn't do as well as I wanted to.
Wait, you're going into your senior year? Isn't that the most important year?
Well, no, because junior year, like, your junior year grades are the most important, because it's your senior grades, like, like, you still need to do work, but, like, senior year, no, it's like, it's not as busy as junior year.
It's also, especially, I think, if you're going to be applying for higher education or something, you're submitting your grades and stuff like that from then.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And that's when like
Right.
most of like your testing starts, and the testing and all that has been canceled as well because of the pandemic, and that pissed me off because I wanted to get that shit over with.
That sucks, man.
And yeah,
I fell asleep
it
during
is
my SAT.
it's not fun. I mean, I got a job at one point, and then my damn it, it
Employer.
got it. Yeah, it all got my
Pandemic.
yeah, the pandemic as well. I got an email saying like, hey, yeah, we're shutting down as of now, or we're closing up. Is like, god damn it.
Dude, I talked with a guy that literally works with us now. He recently started this week, and he was like, dude, I was going to be working as a waiter. We were all set to open up like the very beginning of April, and he's like, yeah, then the pandemic hit, and then it never happened. And that's the thing. There's so many businesses that are getting hit, like especially so many small businesses
Yeah.
that it's like I've seen them close down for so long. Maybe they're operating so many hours. I'm just like, how can they survive during this? It's like,
That's what
you-
I'm wondering. Like,
dude, businesses fail all the time anyways, and it's like now you're basically just completely limiting them and everything. It bothers the hell out of me, man, just because, especially since this is the government doing it. And my thing is, all right, if the government's going to do something, they essentially own it. And I've just seen how much money has been spent. Literally, I see President Trump, a conservative, a Republican, smiling as he's signing the largest spending bill in United States history, 2.2 trillion, up to 6.2 trillion dollars. That is such an unfathomable amount of money that I tried to fathom it. And if there's one thing I learned from Andrew Yang, it's like math is important. All right, if math is important, if you take 6.2 trillion dollars and you divide it by 210 million adult Americans, we literally could have given every American adult a check for like just under 30 grand. It's like $29,521 or something.
and that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I started YouTube.
No, dude, didn't you just get tired of like yelling at the TV or the screen or something? Because I know I did.
I started the my YouTube channel because I needed to be social. I'm an extrovert, and like
That's another thing too. It's like it's also like a learning experience, pretty much. Like these streams, like yeah, they're helping me a lot because I mean, I have like a small group of friends, and we like to talk shit a lot and all that. I've watched. I've been a big fan of Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, so that's another part. But I think it was COVID. That's what really got me into this. As of now.
Now, is it as a topic of interest, or
No, it's just saying like
it's what's going on? It's current events, man.
Yeah. I'm saying like the stuff I mentioned, like the whole COVID thing and how that all went for me. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much how I started YouTube.
Oh, dude, it's literally our life right now. So,
Yeah.
all right, awesome. Excuse. Oh my God, I mispersoned you. I'm sorry. Sunglasses, Runner. Why don't you let the good folks know where they can find you on this internet stuff and things?
All right. You can find me on YouTube. I play Ghost of Tsushima and all that. Right now, you can find me on Twitter. I'm also every Friday, not this Friday, but the next Friday, I'll be on the Giovanna and Friends show. That's basically where you'll find me as of now. Nothing really else is going on. Yeah, thank you for having me, man.
muted.
You're muted. You're still muted.
Muted.
I know. I hit the wrong thing, and since I'm wearing sunglasses, I couldn't. Hitting escape didn't work, so I had to find my cursor and mouse back over. It's all right. No, I for some reason I thought I was subscribed to you. I have not. I was just going over there to grab the link so I could toss it in the chat over there. That's Rudder Studios. And Kai, why don't you let the good folks know where they can find
Actually,
you?
Real quick before Kai plugs in his stuff, is it the right channel? Because there's many Runner
Oh,
Studios apparently.
Do you have 49 subscribers now?
No, that's
Oh.
not it.
Okay.
Mine has 80 subscribers.
Oh,
Post your
I'm looking at the background. I'm like, well, if that's your family, maybe
Yeah,
they look
I
a little
saw
different.
that account. I'm like, no, that is not me.
Okay, never mind. That's not actual Runner's channel. Awkward.
That's what you do. You go to your
Okay.
channel, and
Yeah,
then
you
you
have
paste
80.
the link in the private chat and make it easy for me.
Okay, I see it.
Oh,
no,
you're right.
they got rid of that. They got rid of that.
Get rid of what?
You can't just click on someone's name and go to their channel anymore.
Oh yeah, I know.
No, you
I
can't.
I didn't know you could do that before, but
Let me-
I've never.
Let me
been
put in
able-
the let me put in the private chat actually.
It's all right. No, I got it.
All right,
Okay, Ghost of Sushi.
Ghost
Tsushima.
of Sushi.
I don't know. It's
That's-
what
that's-
Jay put it.
Yeah, I was gonna
It-
say
it-
that's what Drunk 3 People calls.
It's a little better than watching Jay die like 35 times in a row in the Star Wars game.
couldn't- Yeah, I couldn't.
I'm like, I couldn't finish it. It was too bad.
No, Jay.
I didn't realize I wasn't
no,
subscribed to Runner.
no,
That's
Drunk.
what it was. There you go.
Dude,
81 now.
I lost some subscribers last night. I was fucking pissed.
You know what? Honestly, it might just be YouTube glitching. Like it does that. I thought I lost
No,
subscribers too. and then
it
came back, like, a day
probably
later.
is.
When
Dude,
you get followed
I'm-
and you get comments about sex channels and stuff, I feel like those might be bots.
No, those are definitely bots.
Definitely
Man.
bots. You and I are like 3 subscribers apart from one another, Runner.
Nice.
All right, Kai, why don't you go plug your stuff?
Hey, I'm Kai. I do a trivia game every Sunday, and I hang out in people's chats like memes. But dude, yeah, this is a lot of fun. We should do this again.
Totally. I cannot find your channel right now, so send it me the
put it
private
in
chat.
private chat. I put it in private
Okay,
chat.
Yeah,
okay.
you put
Make it
it.
easy for you.
I need to click on more
Unlike
things.
Runner,
I
What?
clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, okay. I'm going to assume
Yo,
this
Runner.
is not going to lead me to
Mm.
porn.
is Cooper your first name or your last name?
It's my first name. It's a very common last name. I know that.
Yeah, so in the sci-fi novel I've been writing, one of my characters, his last name is Cooper, but his friend, she calls him Cooper.
I've heard that many times.
Are you making a reference to replacing the C
I've
with a
heard-
B?
I've heard that joke many times. There's so many names.
I
you
was
can
wondering how common it was, because like
find.
yeah.
You have no idea, Kai.
Hey,
All
let's
right.
let's not hate on anyone that hangs with Mr. Cooper now. All right, shout out to Orbs in the chat. Hey,
Yeah,
Orbs.
what up, Ords?
Let's go, Ords.
Yo, I was glad to talk. I talked to Ords for the first time yesterday. It was fun.
Yo, Orbs is literally Kai, like he's just Kai from like another universe. That's kind of how I relate them. I like them both.
I don't know about that.
They're their own unique individuals.
They're both completely different individuals, and
Well,
that
yeah.
you know that's good.
They have certain unique cross-referencing characteristics, and I don't know, in a category way, I'm like, oh, they're similar. But I love my Orbs. Although I did shave. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be a little while till another Beards of Destruction podcast. We totally need to do that.
Culture Casino and Ords Board both have great hair.
I know.
Ord and I were talking about doing a stoner stream sometime.
He's all about those
Keep
stones.
getting high and forgetting though.
Oh, well, these things happen. So,
Hey,
Kai
I
makes fun stuff. It's in the chat.
I like
There we go.
Shell-
Anywhere else, brother?
Hey, highlight Shellback's comment right here. Yep, I've heard those names. Those names were called many times.
Super duper pooper scooper.
Yep, every
Oh.
every single name you just mentioned is on that list.
You just brought us back full around to about Kai learning about Rule 34 on the internet. Orbs, you missed that. It's not like you're going to clip it or anything. And well, Kai was on solo and I was going out to grab nicotine. But these things happen.
I'm not
But
popular enough to get clipped, bro. I'm good.
it's all right. It's all right. You got to start somewhere. Tallest Mount Star is a stone. But thank you, Kai. Thank you, Runner, for joining me. Thank you all, you wonderful folks in the chat there as well. Yeah, I'm probably going to do a little bit more of these and probably start putting out some little short content, or maybe I'll do my standard normal spiel and we'll just transition into a stream because people, I don't know, we'll get a little feedback. Put some things in the comments below if you care to, or right now. It's all right. Totally don't subscribe to this channel, but go check out these other good gentlemen if you care to check them out. But thank you all for watching. Peace out, everybody, and long live the elbow bump. Do 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 do.